Alright. So I want us to go through this cinematic once again. Now that I've had time to think about it, now that myself and chat have been talking about this for some time now, it seems to be the one thing that everyone has an opinion on, and most people's opinion stems from this.
My queen, please help us.
This is of my sister. Why have you brought it to me?
This one.
That's where everyone's speculation started, right? My instant reaction to this was Elune. It has to be Elune. And my reasoning for this, and this is where most people disagreed, my reasoning for this was, who is responsible for Ysera being in the Shadowlands, being in Autumnweald? That is Elune. We saw that cinematic, right? And if this makes it onto YouTube as a video, if I don't decide to redo it, Alex, would you please put that cinematic on the screen now? I'm talking about the cinematic where Ysera dies and it is Elune that raises her up, yeah? That is why I said Elune, because this is of my sister. This is of my sister, meaning my sister brought her here. This is my sister's problem. Why the fuck is it my job to look at her? Why is it my job to take care of her, right? Now, of course, you could make the argument for A&R as well. They look very, well, they don't look similar, but they both have leaves for hair. So I guess we could say maybe they are sisters. If A&R is the sister of the Winter Queen, I do just have to say we are in for a world of hurt. Because that then proves the theory that the Winter Queen is not of death. The Winter Queen is the result of Order invading the Shadowlands and imprisoning the Lords of Death. And remember that because there is an actual speculation theory coming a little bit later where we'll be talking about this. But if the Winter Queen and A&R is sisters, then that means that the Winter Queen is not Death. And there is actually more evidence that we can sort of put upon it. But I do want to continue with this because there is so much that needs to be uncovered within this cinematic. So much that we have to go through within the cinematic.
Is slipping away.
Our duty is grim. Many have been lost. Why would I save her pet?
Those who have dreamed.
Alright, so there is a clear, regardless of who you think the Winter Queen's sister is, it doesn't matter, right? Seriously, it doesn't matter. It's very clear that she does not like her sister. One of the other reasons I was leaning towards Elune is I think there is a rift that happened between Elune and the Winter Queen. I think when the Winter Queen decided to take up the mantle as an Eternal One of the Shadowlands, Elune did not agree that they were meant to be there. And so Elune instead tethered herself to the Great Beyond, where she helped the Titans of Order. She helped them build Azeroth. She helped them establish life in the great beyond, life in the cosmos. This is something that the Winter Queen and Elune did not see eye to eye on. I think that's the right way to say it, right? But that's sort of that was the thing that drove me to believing that it may be Elune that is the sister. As I said, it could be A&R as well. I'm not making a judgment call saying you're wrong for believing one or the other, because as I've said before in the stream earlier, I can make a case for both, but I can also prove why you're wrong on both. And that means that we're at a stalemate. For now, we have to wait and see, because we just don't fucking know. No one knows, except if you're Steve the Newser, and if you're watching the Steve the Newser, call me. I have questions, and maybe you can answer those questions. But yeah, so there's definitely something going on here that we will learn about. Why does the Winter Queen hate her sister so much? Why does she dislike her sister so much? I don't know, but can we guess? If you have a guess, let me know right now what you think happened between them. I've told you what I think, but I would love to know what you guys think. All right, let's continue this.
By its side, awaken with a joy and peace that whispers of wonder. If she dies, then all that is Emerald dies with her.
Some must be sacrificed, but some must be saved. If we forget that, all that will remain will be empty shells and sorrow.
Alright, so there is something very interesting here. They clearly, at this point, do not understand the dire nature of the situation. And we see this later on in the cinematic as well. The Winter Queen, yes, she doesn't like her sister, and she's more than happy to let her sister's pet die. But there's a more dire situation that goes on here, and that is that there is no anima left. The Winter Queen, and this was actually more interesting to me, why does the Winter Queen even possess anima? This is another reason why I believe that the Eternal Ones are fucking with us. Because yes, our anima is being used to power their zones. This is the afterlives that we live in. But why does the Winter Queen consist of anima as well? She is an Eternal One. She is a Titan. There's no evidence that they have anima. Anima is something that comes purely from mortal souls. This is what Steve the Newser told us. Anima is a byproduct of the death of a soul. By the way, an interesting thing for those of you that didn't watch the video of Steve the Newser's interview, you cannot harvest anima from a living soul. You can only harvest anima once a soul dies. So anima is a direct byproduct of the soul, but only once the soul dies. As long as the soul is alive, that soul has either no anima or no anima that can be harvested. Maybe because the soul uses all of that anima in order to sustain life. That could definitely be an argument for it. But yeah, that was just something that was very interesting to me, something that really stood out to me in that interview, that I really wanted to just sort of highlight here. Oh, and the other thing that I actually wanted to fucking talk about, this is why I paused the video in the first place. Elune must have known something that we did not. That no one knew. Why did Elune take Ysera to the Shadowlands? Could it be that Elune knew that Zuval was up to something? This is why she interfered in the first place. She interfered because she knew that the Shadowlands is going to need all the help it can get to stop Zuval from realizing his ultimate goal. As I already said, I don't think that dragons should go to the Shadowlands. I don't think that is their afterlife. I think their afterlife is somewhere on the Dragon Isle, not here. All right, this is impactful, right? This is ridiculously impactful. And it's interesting that Blizzard chose to show it in this way. The Winter Queen sacrificing her own anima, of which she is already starved, because she wouldn't be withering from one little soul, right? One little soul that requires her anima. She is withering because she herself has almost nothing left. Now, I want to ask you guys this. If it is true that the heart of the forest is essential to keeping Zuval inside the moor, what do you think happens when the Winter Queen dies? What happens when the Winter Queen herself does not have enough power to sustain herself anymore? Because I have a feeling that might be even worse. The other reason I thought this was Elune is listen to this music. I want you to pay close attention to the music here and tell me this doesn't sound exactly like the music that was playing. Exactly like the music that was playing when Elune raised Ysera. This is exactly the same feel. This is exactly the same ambiance, the same emotion that Blizzard is trying to invoke, right? They're trying to invoke the same feeling here. So it legitimately, to me, I don't know how you can say this isn't Elune. I don't know how you can say the Winter Queen sister isn't Elune. Like, genuinely don't know how you can say it. Andre, I'm not talking about the physical song. I'm talking about the visuals and the song and everything, right? I'm not, so I wasn't talking about the physical name of the song. I was talking about how it all comes together. It's the same feeling that we got when Elune was raising Ysera, right? It's exactly the same. It's similar. Hopefully Alex puts that on the screen if this ever makes it into YouTube. Hopefully you guys are watching maybe a split screen of these two things so that you can see how the feeling is the same, right? They're trying to show the same thing by using different graphics, but it is still the same thing that is being pushed. All right, so let's watch this. All right, let's just watch it again. Let's just watch this again, and you tell me, right? If you're watching, if you know what? Fuck it. We'll do it. Is it this one? No, I think it's this one. I need you to pay attention to everything that's happening right now. Pay attention to the light tentacles, let's call them light beams, right? That's coming down from the moon, that is picking her up, that is turning her into the starry thing. Pay attention to all of it. Keep this in mind. Keep this image in the back of your mind now. Do you still think it's ANR? When it is literally the same fucking thing, right? They may as well have used this same... Literally, they may as well have used the same graphics. Look at that, right? Look at the dragon form. And it happens the exact same way here. The dragon being raised up, turned into stars, and from stars becomes a dragon once again. They are taking so much care to ensure that it is similar, to ensure that it is the same. So much care is being put into the cinematic to ensure that there is a similarity between the flow of things. Do you understand now why I believe that this is Elune that is her sister? Does that make sense to everyone? Or is there still people that go, I don't know how you can believe that it's Elune. It must be ANR, surely. It's clearly a walrus with wings. So yeah, that is just... So hopefully that convinces you. If it doesn't, that's fine. I'm not here to convince you. That's not my job. My job is to give you good theories that you can go on, good theories that you can work on. I think what was so spectacular in this is the personal sacrifice that comes from the Winter Queen. She is quite legitimately sacrificing herself to grant Ysera rebirth. But I also wonder if she did not realize how necessary it is. That even though she finds her sister vexing and she doesn't like her sister, maybe she realizes that her sister sent Ysera there for a reason and she is going to need Ysera. Because she does actually tell Ysera right after the cinematic, you now belong to Ardenweald. You are tied to this realm and you shall share its fate. In other words, she did not raise Ysera and allow Ysera to return. This, by the way, is the natural order of things. A god or a nature being goes to Ardenweald, lies there, is reborn, and then is sent back to their world, back to their home world. For Ysera, this is not what happened. After Ysera was raised, the Winter Queen made it very clear, you are now tied to this realm and you shall share its fate. In other words, you will fight with us in this coming war. I will not send you back to your homeworld. I will not send you back to Azeroth. You are tied to this realm and to its fate. So let's hear it. To all of those that believe that I am still fucking wrong, let's hear it. Let me know.